Yo, what's up? Hey, T251. How goes the speed running? Hey, Night Owl's here too. Awesome. It seems like maybe I haven't done any new runs yet. Okay. Maybe the scheduling thing made it a little bit better. I just like went on and scheduled it 30 minutes before hopping on. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing that. Okay. Well, today uh is the custom game engine. Can I zoom this in? Oh, I can. Look at that. Okay, so basically, I've got the pixels showing up, but and then I'm reading keys. So there's the A key, down and pressed events, and up events. But I need to turn that into actual movement, like in the other platforms. So that's what we're doing today. This is what a keyboard event looks like. And interestingly enough, when the meta key is pressed, it sends a meta event. Like it sends the word meta. And I'm also betting it has this Boolean meta key down as well. So like if you wanted to do Windows Shift S, you could detect that with this. So yeah, I'm going to... Yeah, let's take a look at the code. What do I have? Yeah, so right here, I just check against a character. I think I can do the same thing. I just essentially cast it to... Well, actually, interestingly, these are ints. The VK codes are ints, but ints can equal chars. So that's cool. Probably practice some more before doing a new run. Nice. Yeah, good luck. I actually really loved watching it. I love speedrun stuff. Watching the skips was hilarious to me. I think it's so funny that you can just skip parts of the game instead of struggle bust through it like I did. Ah, I brought all this code in. Let's just do this. Was down, not equals down. Yeah, so I probably need to do those. So was down equals... I don't know. Event. Because there's different types of events, right? Oh, no, it's event type. There you go. Event type equals... And then I think these are the event types, right? 1, 2, or 3. Yeah. So was down equals event type is a mscriptin event. No, I was doing the wrong thing. Event key press. So that's if it was down already. Bool equals or is down. Event type is mscriptin event key down. Okay. Oh, and event type does not equal key up. I'm realizing I knew less about mscriptin than I thought I did. It was not much already. Well, I know nothing about mscriptin. I'm totally just flying by the seat of my pants, I guess. Yeah, is down. I think that this logic is incorrect because basically what I'm trying to do here is like, actually, what is the was down? Let's see what the was down is used for, because I use it for something. Was down, or do I? Oh, if was down does not equal is down. Gotcha, gotcha. So I don't want to send a new event. Like, I don't want to have to process a new event if it's already down. So, yeah, okay. So maybe, I mean, like, Yes, the goal is if was down does not equal is down. And so the point of this is like, basically like if, okay, in the case that was down is false and is down equals true, then like detect key down event. So maybe I don't need this because the key down events are all handled by the system already. So I probably don't need to do it the same way as the Windows one. I think I just do if, let's see. Yeah, if, yeah, this is easy, okay. If event type equals mscriptin, I wish it was a little easier to type, event key down or key up, okay, so maybe I do bool key down equals this because I'm gonna use that value again. Up. Okay, so, and then if key down or key up, then, and this is where I make the new function, internal void set key, what did I call it? Keyboard. What did I call it up here? Set input state key. That. Button state, new state is down. Yes. And let's look at what that looks like. Set input state key. Simple enough. So new state ended down, half transition count, that. So now begins the cascading if statement. So if event key equals, but these are, I don't have information on it. Weird. Okay. So let's do A first. Yeah, see, that's not going to work. Const char star and char. Can I do this? I can. So the first character, if it's A, I think that'll work. It may be a little jank, but it's also really cheap, so I might just do it that way. And then set input state key. Oh, let's get the input states. Input state new input. Oh, it's a star, it's a pointer, equals input states at 1. And so this will be new input, what is it, up, D up? What do I call it? Oh, I should get the controller. That's right. So controller state keyboard. Oh, let's do a pointer again. Keyboard equals the address of new input keyboard. Oh, it's not called controller state anymore. It's called gamepad state, I think. Yes. So now keyboard D up. And then is down will be key down or not key up. Is that correct? Why doesn't it like, oh, I need to do the address. Okay. Okay, I think that works. And so now, yeah, we're gonna try it. So now in theory, I can press up. Well, it's not working. And also that's not up, that's left. Okay, replace that with W. So I got the right key. So maybe these event types are wrong. So this one would be 2, and this one would be 3. So let's print out event type event. Oh wait, no. Type. What does this do? Oh, it doesn't like it. Okay. Event type 2, so that's correct. 2 and 3. So event type is 2. Yeah, so that would be true. So maybe this is the failure then. So let's look at, oh, let's do this one. Let's do star, see what happens here. it's gonna be mad at me. I need a C. Okay. Yeah, that totally works. So event key equals W. And then I'm passing in update and render. Input state. Yes. So this I'm doing incorrectly. It should be this. This. Yeah. Okay. Still not working. What the heck? I don't know how to debug this. I don't know how to debug on the web platform. Well, I only know printf debugging. So let's just, let's see where it's getting to. Let's just pop this down into here. And let's do another one right here. And I'm going to get rid of this one because I know it's working. Ah! It's working! I don't know what I changed, but it's working. Maybe I forgot to save last time. Okay. Okay, so now it's else if event key equals A. And we'll just copy this a few times. So this is WASD. And so A is left. S is down. And D is right. Okay. Look at that! The game works. The game works. It's beautiful. I normalized my position. Yeah, ship it. Yeah. I normalized my position, so unfortunately there's actually a little bit of side-to-side stepping when it moves in a diagonal. I imagine that there is like a very easy solution to that, or not easy, but like very optimized solution to that. Because people have been making pixel perfect games for decades and decades. But yeah, look at my little monkey guy running around the screen. This is awesome. On web! Ah, cool. Cool. Alright, what other keys should I get? Q and E, that's a good idea. I don't think I would set them to left bumper, right bumper though. I think Q and E would be like A and B, right? Oop. So this will be face down, face right. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna call that good for now. One sec. Let's save some of these changes. Got keyboard input. Nice. So yeah, I think next I want to do controller input. And that is going to be tricky. We're going to the AIs. All right. Write me a simple tutorial on how to get controller input with mscripten and don't use any libraries, including SDL. Because apparently mscripten is like kind of built with SDL or something, but I've turned it off. I said, wait, did I say it? Oh, I haven't turned SDL off. But I think there's a way in my compiler flags to turn SDL off. Anyway. Oh, there's an HTML5 gamepad API. Wow. Oh, look at that. mscripten sample gamepad data. It's almost like every platform figured out controller input except Windows for some reason. What the heck? The heck? My wife's saying there was just an earthquake, but I did not feel that. Did you guys like hear the... Did you hear like the mic shaking or anything? I'm standing up, so maybe like staying loose is keeping me from feeling the earth shaking. And I'm super sorry for just shaking the mic like I did just now. All right. Yeah, there was a 4.0 earthquake 4 minutes ago. Somewhat close to me. Huh. Well, there you go. Yeah, definitely didn't feel it. Hey, all right. I'm going to butcher the name. Justandut. Or is it Justandut? Justandut. Welcome to the chat. What brings you by? What language are you actually using? Or what language are you using for the actual engine? I'm using C. The files are C++, but I'm trying to stick to mostly C conventions. And yeah, I mean, it's just a handmade hero project, but you know, I've branched away from handmade hero at this point, as you can see by me doing HTML5 stuff. So, there's a gamepad connected callback. That's good. That's good. And then pull gamepad input. And how do you do that one? Pull gamepad input. Oh, you just call it in the game loop. So you just get the gamepads like this. Okay, yeah. So this is actually very similar to X input. This is very similar to X input. Okay. Void gamepad input. What did I call it in the WASM one. I think I called it read controller input. Although I need to start switching to saying gamepad. Oh, let's see. I accidentally played with Rust again the other night, and man, I miss it so much. I just want a programming language to be a little mean to me because I didn't define lifetimes enough. That's so funny. Okay, read controller input. So I definitely want input states. Oh, except for I can do this. Yes. How did I do it here? Read controller. Oh, did I not call it controller? Read X input, Xbox input. There we go. And raw input. I pass the game state, the memory, and the mappings. Oh, that's right. Okay. I had to do so much jank for the Windows stuff. I should probably make a video on Windows input because it's a total nightmare. Total nightmare. If you don't want to just say, hey, I'm going to support Xbox controllers and that's it, then it's a nightmare. What game are you planning to make with this that needs a custom engine, or it's for the fun experience? It's both. I definitely could make the game that I want to make in, you know, a commercial engine or whatever, but that doesn't sound fun to me. That sounds like, I don't know, I would be making a Godot game, not a Mojo game. That's all I think. Plus, I love to code, so this is awesome. I love to know how things work. And then the last part, which I think is somewhat important, is that I thought that it would be impossible to learn this on my own, and I was wrong. So that's kind of that's the last important part of why I want to make a game engine, is I figured out that not only is it not as scary as I thought it was, but it's totally possible for me to learn all of this on my own. So that wall was broken down for me. Yeah, this looks like way easier than Windows. This is insane. Int gamepad count. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna call this gamepad. I learned that there's a difference between a controller and a gamepad. Gamepad is the, you know, the two sticks, the D-pad, A, B, X, Y, right? That's a gamepad. A controller can be a gamepad, but it can also be a joystick, meaning like racing sim controllers. Scriptin, what is it? Get num gamepads. Look at that. Look at how easy this API is. Get your act together, Windows. They're trying. Game input's getting better. Oh, I just realized I didn't fully answer your question, though. Because what game am I planning to make? The answer is I'm going to do a very retro game. Pixel art RPG, heavily inspired by Pokemon and Earthbound. That's the goal. And Zelda. My brother and I are going to be working on it together. We have not started the game yet. We're still in the planning phase. We kind of want to release some other games first. We want to get our feet wet with making games and getting good at all of that. And obviously we don't really have an engine yet. But yeah, that's the answer. I really love those types of games, the RPGs of the past. Okay, I'm trying to think how I need to adapt this. Let's go. Yeah, let's do, so there's Win32 input. This is where all of my Windows input stuff lives. Nearly 1,300 lines of code to get freaking Windows input. All right, read X input, this one. So this function is going to be my bread and butter. Do I do the swap at the end here? No, I don't. Where do I do the swap? Because there's like a little bit of a trickiness that we do here. Okay, I'm not reading X input anywhere. Read Xbox input. This thing. I need to do this at some point. The little swap. But that's okay. I think I just do that in the game loop. So read gamepad input. And actually I don't need to pass the game states in because, well, I'll do it. Address of games if input states. Why doesn't it like that? It's because they're already an address. It's an array. Oh, do I do the swapperoo before or after? I do it before, right? Yeah, there's the game update and render. Okay. So yeah, new chatter, Just and Doot. Tell me how to say it. Tell me how to say your name. Because I feel stupid pronouncing things wrong. But tell me also a little bit more about what draws you to the stream. Are you making a game? You making a game engine? I'd love to know what people's projects are. Man, the next question I have to answer is like, do I really care about multiplayer? Like with the Windows stuff, I wrote it all with the idea that I could have multiple players playing the game, and like player 1 could disconnect their controller and it wouldn't swap player 2 to player 1. It would keep them as player 2. And if player 1 reattached, that they would be player 1 again. I don't know why I cared so deeply about getting that right, but I did. And I wonder if I care at all about that on WASM. Because WASM is just going to be for like sending out a build on itch.io that people can try out. It doesn't, like I'm not going to be shipping anything on WASM. So I think I probably just don't care. You know? Oh, here's another little tidbit that I learned recently. Technically, plus plus I in a for loop is better than I plus plus. And that's crazy because what I learned in school is I plus plus. I learned to write my for loops with I plus plus. But what happens, and this is what I learned, is so like the difference is so when it creates the assembly instruction, and actually, you know what? We can look this up. We can look this up. Where's my dev? There we go. This thing. For int I equals 0, I is less than 10, plus plus I. Goodness. We'll do num plus equals I. I don't know. Just something silly like that. And then we'll copy this and we'll do I plus plus. Let's also zoom in a little bit. Okay, so right here, this one, it pushes I onto the register and like decrements it and stuff, right? And like does the jumping. So it jumps down to here and then jumps back like this. This just jumps back up to here. Anyway, down here, there's like one more instruction. Although it looks like the compiler really optimized this. So I think I'm going to change this to J. Just to be sure. Yeah, so this for loop, it jumps to L4. It does a comparison here. And then it jumps to L5. I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. So, and then F4, and then the return. So it does this first and then it returns. Okay. So then all of this is one for loop. Why are we reading assembly? I learned a cool thing the other day. So of course I have to share. So this is the for loop with I++. And then this is the for loop with ++I. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. Oh, so I'm wrong. But there was something to it. Basically, the idea was that one of these instructions does like one extra step. Let's see. Move. No, these are looking pretty much the same. So maybe the compiler just optimizes it. Yeah, I think the compiler probably just optimizes it. But the idea is that like if you went directly to machine code, that the I++ would have one more move operation. Yeah, it depends on the compiler. Yeah. Anyway, so I do ++I now because what that does is it just increments the I without returning the value. And so it doesn't have to create another variable in memory. But this one does. But yeah, it looks like the compiler just optimized it out. So That was all just nonsense, what I said. It makes me look smarter than you are. Yeah. It makes me look smarter than I am when I look at assembly. Yep, I haven't had to actually like look at or write assembly since freshman year of college. And even then we weren't writing like x86 assembly. We were working on like a custom board. And I hated it. I hated it. Okay. Gamepad count. We're not making very much progress on this. Let's go to here. So basically, and then go over here. There's an event that I get. Got it. Okay. So mscriptin gamepad event. Bro, how are you gonna get through programming for Game Boy from scratch if you hate assembly? I'm not saying I hate assembly now. I just did in freshman year of college. But also, I'm gonna write it in C. There's like a Game Boy Advance compiler out there. I can't remember what it's called, but it exists. I've done some research. I think the hardest thing for Game Boy development is actually going to just be the memory and storage issues. I know a guy who can make Game Boy cartridges, or at least he has connections to be able to make Game Boy cartridges. And I wonder if they do like more advanced cartridges that have more ROM, because the base Game Boy Advance cartridges had so little memory and storage. Let's see if I can find this. Technical specifications. This is not helping. 4 to 32 megabytes for storage. Apparently it goes up to 64. But yeah, I mean, I think they had like no RAM. Yeah, look at this. 4 kilobytes of RAM. Well, maybe up to 64 kilobytes. So yeah, that's going to be the tough stuff. That's going to be the real hard. And look, operating voltage 3.3 volts. Yeah, that's going to be the hard part, is just the low tech. I'm going to have to be like really tight on my sprite atlases. Like the way Pokemon works is they reuse a lot of textures. And they just like color them differently. It's actually super cool. I would love to go over that on stream sometime. Because you can actually like just import, like someone has cracked the code, right? So you can import their assets into like Sprite, and then you can grab their palettes, and Sprite can actually apply the palettes to the sprite sheets, and you can see like there'll be like one sprite sheet that is used for like 5 or 6 different screens, or like different biomes in Pokemon. They just color it differently. It's so cool. So that they have less assets. equals mscriptin success. What is it called? Result success. Let's just print. Let's just print here. We'll say controller connected or detected. Let's do that. And this will happen every frame, but that's okay. Let's just see if it's getting my controller. No, it is not. Can only be called after having first called sample gamepad data. And that, okay. What did I do? Ah. Call this. So I just didn't get down to the bottom of this. Nope, they just don't even say it. Dang tutorial. Stupid AI. Mscriptin gamepad. What is it? What was it again? Sample gamepad data. All right, it's not detecting my controller. Oh, I just had to tap the controller once. Now it's connected. Okay. Cool. So it's got my controller. Actually, let's see, because I can do F. Event. What can it do? Can it get like the name? Index, maybe? ID? Let's do ID. What does that look like? Wireless controller, standard gamepad vendor. Yeah, so it got my controller. This is the PlayStation 4 vendor and product ID. Unrelated to stream, not to spoil too much from Tuesday, but it seems like this week is all about Ubisoft again. Cool. Yeah, let's see. How did that video even do? I was trying to make it clickbaity. All right, we got 67 views. It's not nothing. I need to work on pretty much everything when it comes to my marketing. The YouTube thumbnail just shows ChatGPT. Yeah, it's Gemini. Welcome to the chat, Sauce Q8Q. Oh my gosh, 7 views. Yeah, that's my bad. I need to like make an actual thumbnail for my streams. Let's write. I just thought of 2 things to improve my content. So let's write those down. Work on marketing / clickbait / thumbnails for YouTube videos. And then last but not least, make a real thumbnail for my stream. It's a great idea. Could it be this little monkey guy? Do you think this little monkey guy is marketable enough? I drew him in like 5 seconds. So he's obviously a very high quality asset. Okay. So yeah, I'm definitely getting my controller. Let's plug in another controller. 1 sec. Ah, look at that. Okay. So now we're getting the Xbox 360 and the wireless, the PlayStation controller. Okay, that's good. Just gonna unplug that real quick. That was getting out of hand. Oh boy. That is a lot of logs. I mean, it's happening every frame. So 60 times a second. Oh wait. No. Does this really not have a scroll to the bottom feature? Come on. Ta-da. Okay. What else? What else? What should I do next? Let's look at this. So I get the gamepad, and then I get the controller state for that gamepad, and then I can ignore this. What's this one? I could put the type in. Where do I parse this type? What the heck? New con state type. Okay. Yeah, this one. This type. Where is this coming from? Gamepad standard. Okay, so then I do a switch on that. Yeah, let's grab that. And we're going to put that in here. Oh, I don't like that formatting. All right, switch vendor. So this will be event. Is there not a vendor ID? Let's look at this event. ID. Ah, it's just a string. Shoot. I would definitely much rather get more information. What's this mapping though? Let's print the mapping. Let's just comment this stuff out for now. Let's see what the mapping looks like. Oh, it just says standard. Let's plug in this controller because I think it's got a non-standard mapping. Oh, it doesn't even have a mapping, apparently. That's weird. And then if I plug in an Xbox controller, what is that mapping? Standard as well. Okay. Huh. I wonder what the other mapping types are. Yeah, this is a total shame that the ID doesn't separate out the vendor ID and product ID. Like, I'll have to parse this if I want to get these. I think it might be worth it though. Standard, gamepad, and then vendor. Yeah, so I would need... What the heck? Is there not a closed parenthesis? Wireless controller, open parenthesis, no closing parenthesis. Is it getting chopped off? Oh no, that's even worse. I think it's getting chopped off. What is the size? 64. How many characters is this? How many characters in string? 63. Oh no, it totally is getting chopped off too. Ah, crap. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to get the vendor ID. How do I get the vendor ID and product? The gamepad via mscriptin gamepad functions. I thought that it was just chopping off like a, because right here it's like 05C, but I think the next character is a 0. So I thought it was just chopping off like the trailing 0, which totally doesn't make sense. It would chop off the leading 0. So I'm just dumb all around. Also, I don't think it is 0500. I think it's a 4. Is it a 4 after? Let's look. Win32 input. This one? Is it this one? Yeah, it's got a 4 on the end of it. So I was just chopping it off. Oh no. Alright, what's AI got for me? No. The problem that I'm seeing with this is that the string is truncated. The ID can only have 64 characters. So the product and vendor, or the product ID, is getting cut off. So I can't reliably get the information that way. Excluding, or like, let's say, outside of the gamepad event, can I get that information in another way? Maybe I don't care though. The only reason I would care about this is if I really wanted to show the symbols of the controller for whatever reason. Okay, what is this saying? Are the IDs stored in base 64? They're just like, it's just bytes. So yeah. So the PlayStation vendor ID, so all like Sony controllers have this ID, 054C. Xboxes have 045E. This is just what's in the controller, right? On the board of the controller. But then like the PlayStation 3 controller has this ID, the 4 has this ID, 054 or 05C4. The DualSense has 0CE6. And so what I'm trying to do is identify the controller based on these IDs so that I can tell what the face looks like. Which again, maybe I actually don't really care about that. So maybe what I do instead, because I wanted to like give it a type, right? I wanted to be able to know, oh, is this an Xbox controller? Is it a Valve controller? Is it a PlayStation controller? Whatever, right? or standard is just like everything else. But actually, maybe I don't care because this is just my web port and I'm not going to ship anything on web. I'm just going to use it for testing and demos. So maybe I just say screw it and I move on. I think that's the plan. But let me write a note. Note. The mscripten event is only 64 characters, which is truncate the correct term? Truncate. Shorten the duration. Yeah, okay. Which truncates the string enough to destroy the product ID. So I can't reliably get that. Was the idea that you would be able to show button prompts based on product ID? Yes, that is the idea. So I can't reliably get that, and I don't care to with my web platform. So this note is here to stop future Mojo from going down that rabbit hole. Okay. Cool. So next, we're making some very slow progress. Read X input and rumble. Okay, get the gamepad states and then just start reading the states. Okay. Good luck, future Mojo. Yeah, screw you, future Mojo. Who even liked you? Okay, gamepad state, new gamepad state is the address of new input controllers at I. Oh, and I also need to do I need to, well, yeah, I do. Because I have a maximum amount of controllers with the way I wrote my thing. Honestly, I feel kind of bad for future Night Owl. That guy has to go through a lot of to-dos. Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty okay though. Let's not even talk about the hacks. Yeah. Here, I kind of want to go through some of my to-dos actually. So make this this is not my code. Okay. To do, store the player position as float. I did that. Yeah, this one is like to do figure out what this thread context is for by going into Handmade Hero and figuring out what he does with it. Because right now, I have no idea what this is. What's another good one? Put input.hmi here. Yeah, I would maybe do that if I cared later. I actually don't know if this, I don't think that matters. I think I could just get rid of that one. Oh no, what have I done? To do. And then get rid of these. Okay. Find the correct way to fill a whole buffer with one color. I did find it. It's with OpenGL. Done. Try again with VM flags anywhere. That's in Mac. I don't know that one. STB image is not my code. Wasm. I can get rid of that. Oh, actually, this is an interesting one. So in Handmade Hero, he does these, right? Where he like grabs the type defs. This is like programmer ASMR. So I gotta ask everyone's opinion. Like, do you use uint and int8? Like, do you create your own type defs for these? I think like to some degree that's extremely useful. But I think also I personally, when I was using these, I was constantly forgetting what they meant. Which is that, and so like I wrote, like maybe do it like this, where like you do char is a C8. So I know it's like an int of 8. Is it bits or bytes? Bits. So it's an 8-bit int, and this is a 16-bit int, and whatnot. So this is a short, this is an int, this is a long. But yeah, like I actually just recently went through and changed all of my code to not use these uints and whatnot, and like actually learn what the real types are behind it. But then the worst thing happened, which is that apparently long does not mean the same thing on every operating system. And so that's why it's a long, is because I think like a normal long is like a 32-bit integer. Anyway, I'm curious, do you do this? Do you type def some uints for yourself, or do you use the standard int uint, like int8t? Do you use these? Because I just decided not to do that. C++ is way different, I think. In what way? Get controller index first, then insert index separately. I think I did that already. I've never felt the need to do that. I mean, like you don't use unsigned ints, or like look at this. So I've got unsigned long, and most people would write uint 64. That's what they would write instead. So it's just like a shortening thing, and it also tells you exactly how many bits you're dealing with. So like I see the value of it. But also I was like, I kept forgetting like what these actually meant, because that's the other thing, is like when you're doing these, let's see, what's a good example? Let's find a D word. So I would see like this D word thing, which comes from the Windows API, and I would hit Shift K. Oh, no information available. Thank you. Anyway, it would be like unsigned long is a D word. And I'm like, what the heck is that? Because I'm used to like uint 64. I don't know how many bits are in a long. And so I had to switch off of it so that I would actually learn how many bits are in these integers. And again, I actually think that a long and a long on some operating systems are the same thing, and on others they're not. Also, what the heck is a near and a far? Just some definitions. Anyway, I do use unsigned int, but I don't think I've so far had to think about the size of them without having access to size of. Sure, I just mean like conceptually. Like I look at this like D word, for example, and it's like, oh, it's an unsigned long. To me, that like I don't know. Oh, so I have 64 bits to deal with. Wherever you are. Yeah, this is the Windows API. So when you're doing your C++ stuff, do you just not have to write the platform layer? Are you not dealing with Windows API, or are you like on Linux or something? This is a little jank. You're targeting x86, but yeah, there's a lot hidden. I'm not directly communicating with the Win32 API. Interesting. Did the course like give you the Windows platform layer then? Or are you using like SDL or something? I'm curious. Because I actually had like a ton of fun working on the platform layer. I mean, that's what I'm doing today. I'm working on the... Okay, if I was, I'd rather be using C, TBH. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm using C, but in C++ files. Like, I don't really use any C++ tech. I think there's technically a couple things I use that are C++ conventions. But for the most part, it's C. Okay, so how does the connected thing go? Where do I set connected equals true? Do I set it up here? There it is, connected. GLFW and OpenGL. Ah, okay, okay. Yep. Okay, so let's grab these. Wrong thing. These. I don't think it needs... Yeah, I don't need an ID. Yeah. I think that's all I need. New con state is now new gamepad state. But the course is engine and tools, so it makes sense. We were mostly striving to build an editor. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I want to build an editor at some point. I'm back. How's it going? It's going good. Here, let me show you what we've got going on. I've got my guy moving. Moving and grooving. My little monkey guy. Anyway, that's it. And technically I've got my controller is detected, but I am not handling the input yet. And then we build a game using that editor. Yeah, that's cool. That's super cool. I wish that I could do this. Like, I could spend all my time on this. I love it to death. But in fact, it is 8:45, and so that is the end. Let me get rid of this stuff up here. Yeah, I'm pretty close to controller input if I didn't keep getting distracted by ints and whatnot. Then I probably could have gotten that done. Yeah, good work getting the monkey moving. Yeah, that ended up working. I'm so happy. But yeah, that's it for today. Game input is, or controller input is almost done. I'm just not actually reading any of it. But there we go. So see you tomorrow. I'll be playing Silk Song. So come watch me die endlessly